Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the live market color for today, the 29th of July 2024. We hope you're having a wonderful time as you're joining us today from all over the world to analyze the markets together and also get clear direction of the market for today. So today we're going to be starting off with the analysis on the dollar index, and we're going to be looking at Euro USD and GBP USD as foreign currencies to the dollar. And then afterwards, we're going to go on a short break, and when we return, we're going to be analyzing gold against the dollar alongside with the yen basket and one or two other yen-related currencies. So we're starting off with the analysis for the dollar. So right about now, you're going to be seeing my screen with the dollar index being displayed right there. Now for the dollar index, we've been anticipating that it's going to resume its buy trend for a while now, and currently we're seeing that happening as the chart is unfolding. Now, one of the places I really wanted to see the dollar index trade into was this low, but it shied away from trading to that level. Okay, somewhere here. Yeah, I've been looking to see the dollar index trade into this level, but it's been shying away from it. So it may ignore this level if dollar index starts seeing momentum to the upside. At the start of today, we saw some sell-off on the dollar index from the Asian session, but right now it looks like price is resuming the trend back to the upside on the daily time frame. You can see that when we go to the hourly time frame, we're going to see it much more clearly. So for the daily time frame, this is what we have. Let's look at the weekly time frame before we proceed to the smaller time frame. Now, looking at last week, there was clear indecision last week, just like the week before, where we were seeing price close as a hammer for the week before and as a doji for last week. Now we're seeing that the dollar index is now trying to gain momentum to the upside. We've been seeing rejections from the downside. Price is rejecting to the upside. It's refusing to continue the sell downwards and instead increasing the buys to increasing the chances of the buys to the upside. However, we would want to take our time to watch what really happened after all these displays of indecision before we now get clear direction for the long-term direction of the dollar index. For now, we're just scalping in between in between the hourly time frame of other currency pairs that we trade. Now, if you look at the daily time frame of the dollar index, you can see that since it created this low, it's been looking for strength or momentum back to the upside, at least maybe to some premium level if this is really a sell trend, because we've seen how that price is close below the low of this swing right here. This is the low of the swing and price is close below it. So we might experience some more downtrend, and as I'm looking at this level, price may likely trade into this level going forward. Okay, so we want to see if price is going to trade into this level, it should give some retracement before coming down finally. All right, so we'll be waiting for price to retrace all the way to maybe somewhere around here or here before it finally sells to the downside. So let me highlight those regions. They want to see the sell. Okay, somewhere around here before we start seeing the sell. So we might see price all the way to somewhere around here. This should be at least an equilibrium or premium of this whole move to the downside before price continues going. So I'm expecting to see price trade a little higher into this level before it continues, if it's going to continue downwards. But if it breaks this level, then the sky is its limit. So we'll have to start trading above all these previous highs. Okay, but like we all said and established a few weeks ago, that the dollar index is kind of a range. So we'll be trading other pairs independent of what is happening on the dollar index. Because if you look at the dollar from a sentiment standpoint, you see that many currencies are not correlating as they should naturally. All right, so we're seeing divergence instead of correlation for dollar-related pairs. And that is giving us the sentiment that the dollar index is not clear on decision yet. You can see this range on the 1 hour time frame. Okay, the price has been caught up inside this range for the past since last week into this week. You're seeing that since on Wednesday, price has been caught up in this range and it has refused to break out of it. So there's no clear decision on the dollar at the moment. This week, we're expecting interest rates to be out. Interest rate release should be out this week. And it's part of the things that will influence the overall direction on price. So I'm expecting the dollar index to continue in this range until possibly on Wednesday. We take a look at that on Forex Factory, preferred Forex calendar. You should be seeing that news on Wednesday, and on Wednesday is going to be a very serious economic or fundamental day to mark in your calendars because right in the morning of Wednesday to around midnight into the morning of Wednesday, we're going to be seeing the Bank of Japan interest rate. All right, and then right before the end of the day, around 7 p.m. Nigerian time, we're going to be seeing the U.S. interest rates news release, right? And then there are some CPI news release we'll be expecting in between the day, right? Especially coming from Europe, right? But that's not our main focus. Our main focus is on Wednesday for the interest rate on the US, interest rate in Japan. And right after then on Thursday, we're going to be seeing interest rates for Great Britain will be released on Thursday. So this week it's heavily loaded with news release. And then finally NFP on Friday. So it's no surprise that the dollar index is ranging that much from where it currently is because by the end of this week, we're going to be seeing a lot of news release that's going to give most of all these ranging currencies a direction on where to trade or where to be headed for the remaining part of the week, especially for the remaining part of the year. Okay, so this is very important for us to note, and that will be all for the dollar index. I hope this analysis is clear. And then for Euro USD, we might see something very similar as to what we have on dollar index on Euro because the Euro has already released its own interest rates. We are not expecting so much from them. However, looking at what the Euro has been doing from last week into this week, it's been ranging to the upside. You can see that it's been creating a trend of range all the way to the upside, even though it's not perfect in terms of the trend line. But then you can see it overall, it's been ranging to the upside. It may continue in this range into Wednesday so that after Wednesday, we're going to now see the big break out of all the ranges that we've been seeing on all these currencies going forward. Okay, so for Euro USD, if you look at it from the daily time frame, we're expecting to see this sell continue to the downside. Okay, we're expecting to see this sell continue to the downside. However, price looks to have hit this other block or looks to have traded into this other block and it's now making its way into some other external liquidity that might be grabbed along the way. Now, if you look at it from the 4-hour perspective, now this is where I am expecting Euro USD to trade into. Let me get rid of these guys so we have a clear chart. Now for Euro USD, one of the places I'm expecting that it gets into is right here, the 4-hour box pattern right here. Okay, after a grab of liquidity here, I am expecting Euro USD to trade into that level and then continue selling. So in case we see during this news release that price spikes up all the way to this level, this could be a potential target to send price to the downside. Okay, you know I've been big on seeing Euro USD continue this sell, but then it's been taking a pause, and we might see that resume later on. So looking at it from the daily time frame, retracement into this place might initiate a sell to the downside. Now for the 4-hour time frame, same thing. This is a box pattern. You might see Euro USD buy into this place and then sell off to the downside. However, on the 1-hour time frame, we're still seeing that we're in the range to the upside. And if this range continues, then we might see Euro USD trade there. If not, you just go ahead and clear all this liquidity that has gathered. You can see the liquidity points. Okay, so these are the liquidity points that Euro USD has gathered. Diagonal liquidity may be the target for price to trade into and then continue trading above. Okay, so for me this week, I would most likely be sitting on my hands to watch what happens by the end of the week, because all that is going to be happening within the week is going to give us clear direction on what's going to happen towards the end of the year. Okay, so that's that for Euro USD. And then for GBP USD, I see GBP USD selling a little bit more to do similar thing to what Euro USD has done. So let's get rid of this guy. Now, if you look at Euro USD on the daily time frame, you see that it has traded into this other block right here. Okay, this other block right here. Let me highlight that. On GBP USD, I'm expecting the same thing to happen, because they all right. This is what has happened on Euro USD, and on GBP USD. I'm expecting very similar thing to happen right here. Okay, so as of this morning, I've been looking for sell opportunities on GBP USD, but price keep missing my orders above it. Okay, so but however, if I still see some good decent entries again, I will be willing to sell GBP USD all the way here. If not, then I'll just allow you to sell into here and then start ranging back to the upside. Okay, so for the daily time frame, at least this is what I'm expecting to happen. A sell into this order block and then a rejection back upwards to clear all this diagonal liquidity right here. If you now look at it on the 4-hour time frame, you see that we have very similar thing on GBP USD like we have on Euro USD box pattern right here. So my the play that I would want to take advantage of is a sell off into this level right here and then a buy back up to this level. Okay, this is what I'm expecting to see on GBP USD going into the remaining part of the week. So if I see some good entries, I'll be willing to short GBP USD again into this place to just grab little scalp of about 20 to 30 pips, and that'll be all. If not, I'll just allow price straight into here and then I'll look for entries for a buy and target this high right here. So this is going to be all for GBP USD analysis. I hope it's clear and you've been able to grab a thing or two, or even get clear direction for the pairs that you trade according to what you've analyzed. All right, so we're going to go on a very short break. When we return, we're going to be analyzing. When we return, we're going to be analyzing gold against the dollar and also the yen pairs. All right, so stay tuned as we go for this short break.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the Market Call brought to you by the Value Flow Trading Team and powered by our preferred broker, Opta. So this morning we'll be going into the analysis of the precious metal, and we are going to see where exactly is the market heading to for the week and what exactly are we looking out for in the course of the week. It's a great morning. Thank you. Good morning, Tim Topwell. All right, so let's quickly take a look at what exactly is going on the week, and in the course of the week too, what are we expecting, and also where are we heading to, because this week is going to be a very, very powerful and sensitive one in the market, in the sense that we are going to be seeing a lot of, some level of clarity. At the same time, we may end up seeing some level of instability too, just for the few days, maybe from Wednesday morning into Thursday morning. So those periods will be a very, very, determined process and moment for the market all through. So right now, we'll be going deeply into the analysis. Now, for the precious metal, as we all can see, I believe you all can see my screen. As we can see, even starting from the weekly time frame, we are going to see that the precious metal has been on a buy trend so far. However, since the April of this month, since the April of this year rather, we've been seeing the range and how it has been clearing highs even last week where it pressed the all-time high and created a new one. And we want to believe the high for last week is the all-time high for the precious metal for this year. That's what I want to believe. But Wednesday is going to be a defining moment to know if that is going to be the all-time high for the year or is going to break above that level again. And like CJ already said, as we are expecting the interest rate from the United States to know where exactly the dollar is going to. And like he said also, we may just cross our hands to see what happens before that time. But before that time, there's what we call pre-news move. Then we may see some level of move in the market. So let's quickly look at those moves that we may be expecting to happen prior to the release of the interest rate and to know where the precious metal will be heading to. So if you look at it generally, this has been a range so far. However, it is to the upside. But I am still of the opinion that the precious metal, even if it wants to break up, it should come and clear liquidity below here. And if it wants to break down, then it should just come clear the lower side, go back a bit, and continue its down move to the downside. However, last week we marked some levels out on the 1 hour time frame, and even is even giving us some level of correlation on the 4 hour time frame too. This is the shoulder, we have the sweep, and we have the fall to break. So we're expecting the precious metal to rally all the way into this level last week, but it couldn't do that. So I'm still of the opinion that we may see that last leg pre-news between today and Wednesday afternoon. Price may come all the way and rally into this level, this zone that we mark here before it begins itself to the downside. And as a matter of fact, if the news is as we are expecting that it's going to be a very great news, like a very powerful one, which is FOMC on Wednesday. So we may see price get here first, react to the downside, and then now push all the way to this level, then collapse if the interest rate for the dollar remain the same, or peradventure if the interest rate is being cut down, then we may see some level of move of the precious metal all the way to the upside. All right, so that is for that. And on 1 hour time frame, it becomes more clearer where our POI is on the 1 hour time frame. So we are expecting the precious metal to rally all the way into this zone that we mark here. And as we can see, this is a shoulder and the fair value gap inside of it. So we want price to rally into this space, then we can easily short it with our stop loss for a bit above the zone here. So that will be our first entry. And if we are able to get that, then if we see it break above that level, where would be our next entry again? Our next entry would be this particular zone as price come and clear liquidity around this space. Is a bit of induction here, inducement here. So we can see IOF with the left and right, and we can see how price may come all the way tap into this space and move all the way to the downside. So we are also looking at that zone too. This is also another POI for the week on the 1 hour time frame. So if that is the case, what are we expecting intraday happening today? As we can see, today price opened on the high note to the upside, then begin to come all the way to the downside and ranging around this level. So where can we expect to see a buy to the upside? We've not seen any signature for the buy right now. And if you want to drill down all the way into the lowest time frame, which is the 5 minute, then we are going to see that price currently has not really given an entry. And as you all know, our entry signature, which ought to be the first strategy, until we see that, then we can easily follow it to the upside. But the overall bias still remains that we expect price to come all the way and buy into this POI before we see the short to the downside. And where are we expecting the sell all the way to? We're expecting it to sell into first clear liquidity here, and you can see this down that POI here where we have fair value gap, and also this particular zone serving as more of a flip zone on the daily time frame particularly. And you can see that here. So if the precious metal would sell, then we wanted to clear this level and sell into this place. Then from this, we can now see the price reaction back up and continue to sell to the downside if that could happen. However, remember what BJ is doing and the correlation between the two pairs. So we'll be moving right now through the analysis of the yen basket. What are we seeing in the yen basket and what is our expectation for the yen this week? Now we've seen the bullish move of the yen since 2 weeks ago. We've seen how it's turned all the way back to the upside. And like we've been saying, would this be the resumption of the uptrend? Because we've seen it break structure now on the daily time frame, and at the same time, place liquidity on the daily time frame. Now, where are we expecting it to rally into? Now we can see that we have a shoulder pattern somewhere around this place. This is the shoulder, this is the sweep and the break, of which price did not come back to the shoulder pattern. And I am of the opinion you can see there is a fair value gap resting there at 4P shoulder level here, somewhere around this place. Yes, that's the first one, and this is the second entry. Now, it looks very tiny, but it really matters a lot for us to take note of that. Now, if you can see this on a daily time frame, it really means a lot. Now, this is more like this is the shoulder that we have here. This is the sweep, and we can see the break to the downside. Shoulder, the sweep, the break, and price did not come back to the shoulder. And right above the shoulder, you can see the fair value gap resting just there with an order block sitting above it. So that is going to be another POI for the yen rally to the upside. However, we expect this week, as the interest rate comes out on Wednesday, we want to see some level of push in the yen basket to the upside. However, before that, we want to see some level of pullback again to this zone, particularly this failed shoulder that we all can see here. It's a shoulder here, sweep and force to break all the way to the downside. And we expect when price gets to that zone to react. But when price got to there, it broke out with a full momentum. So we expect price to come a little bit down to this level again, a failed shoulder, and we know whenever a shoulder fails, it should be a good support to push price through the upside, and that is what we're expecting. So today into Tuesday night or early Wednesday morning for the release of the interest rate for the yen, which is coming out on Wednesday too. And there has been a lot of speculation, particularly for the yen interest rate, that this time around the yen may, increase the BOJ may increase the interest rates a bit this time around. Particularly, most of the analysts have been saying, yeah, we expect an increase of interest rate once this year from the Bank of Japan. And we can see that may happen this month because we've not seen it for the past few months. And now we are in the second half of the year. They may increase the interest rate this time around. But eventually, they did not increase the interest rates. And maybe during FOMC, the Bank Reserve FED, they cut down their interest rates. Then that should give more room for JPY, the yen basket, to rally all the way to the upside. So this is what we're expecting for the yen basket. Now, if you are looking out for this for the yen basket, what should be the move we should be expecting on the yen correlated pairs? And as you can see, the yen correlated pairs since last week, they've been selling, particularly GJ has turned its head all the way to the downside, just locking down, down, down. All right, and all we can see here right now is price coming, clear liquidity here, and we've seen price reaction here as we analyzed last week that we should see some level of pullback from this point. And as that is happening, we already see where exactly it's heading to. Now, because we are expecting the yen basket to pull back a bit, we may see the GBP JPY also, pull back. Let's see it on the 4-hour time frame to be able to show and know where exactly we're expecting it to come into. Now, this is a level we've marked long time ago, and price has not really come into that zone. So we expect the JPY to rally a bit, at least to this split zone that we have here. And when price gets to this split zone, then we can now look at where exactly should we be heading to. And knowing fully well that we still have a particular PY far above here that we expect price to enter. And since the break, we've not seen price come all the way to clear that level. So this may be another level where price may rally into before going all the way down because of what we've been expecting to see. If this week is going to be the resumption of the yen rally, then we may see price come all the way into this zone here and begin to go down all the way down. All right, so that's for JPY. A quick look at AUD/JPY2. As we all can see, they all have a similar price action. And the reason why we are saying that is because the move that causes this sell is majorly on the JPY. And if we look at the forex performance to see how the currencies are performing, we are going to see that currently we are in a risk-off market currently. And as you can see, all the assets are totally, going down because of that move. AUD/JPY and other JPY pairs are having the same direction because of that move we are seeing on the yen basket, and that is why they all are moving all the way to the downside. All right, so where are we still expecting the AUD/JPY to rally into? We may see the AUD/JPY also rally into this particular plate zone here, and we can see where we have the reaction here, particularly on this candle that we see on the daily time frame as we analyze that we expect price to come all the way into that fair value gap to react back up, and we've seen that happen since last week. So we may see price come all the way again into this split zone before it begins to sell to the downside. So we should look out for that, and we can easily move in with it too. So if you look at it on 4-hour time frame, it's still the same place that we are expecting price to, rally or pull back into before the sell continues. Now a quick look at USD/JPY. As you all can see, like we said, we have a similar price action on all yen pairs, particularly now that USD/JPY is also doing this, having a similar price action. And like CJ said, on Wednesday is going to be a defining moment for the US dollar. And if we are looking at that for the US dollar, if we are looking at a strong dollar, then there's high tendency. If the dollar is strong and the yen also is also strong because the two interest rates are coming out the same day, then we may see the USD/JPY range while other yen pairs, tank to the downside, and the other, dollar pairs also tank to the downside. So that is what we may be looking out for here particularly. All right, so that is going to be all for the. Now let's quickly look at, do we have any entry for the USD/JPY today at all? Now, if you see right now, we really did not have much entry. Instead, there is a room for price to come all the way down. It's going to clear liquidity around this level down to the downside. And this is a shoulder where we already see prices tap into slightly at the opening of the day, and we may not see price come there again. So we may see price come all the way down again to clear this particular zone. Particularly, this is on 15-minute time frame. Price may come to clear this level and begin to buy or clear everything to the downside. So this week is going to be a quite, level of silence in the market, and like we said, that is going to be what will happen. All right, someone said, okay, just let me take some quick commentaries so that we can easily, before we call it a day, just a quick commentary before we call it a day. All right, someone said, good morning. Do you also do analysis for synthetics? No, not during this market color. We only do analysis for synthetic for our students. We used to have our student traders forum every Thursday by 11 a.m. So that is only for our students. That's when we do synthetic analysis. All right. Yeah. Someone said, G, good morning. I think I can notice a false pattern on GJ and UJ to the upside. Okay, let's quickly take a look at that. All right, great. Now this is 1 hour time frame for UJ. Great. I'm saying that to now. We are correct. Yes, correct. Now this is it. We are saying this is a shoulder. We've seen the sweep, and you can see it right here. We've seen the sweep here. This is the sweep of the shoulder. There's the shoulder. There's the sweep. However, like I said, on 15-minute time frame, price may still come a little bit more. Tap into this shoulder. Now this is going to be a very clean entry right now. You can see this is the level here. This is the shoulder as we have here. At the same time, the shoulder is correlating with this other block with the fair value gap inside here, and we should see price. When price gets to this zone, price may react. However, don't panic if price come all the way to clear this other, the low of this other block is still the same thing. I think we should refine it down to the 15-minute time frame to see clearly what I'm trying to say at that point. Good. This is it on the 15-minute time frame. You can see on the 15-minute time frame, we have the sweep of this particular level here, and price goes up, but it didn't break up with this zone. So we may see price come and take out this particular level here. Now, if you go a little bit lower, let's take a look at 5 minutes at that particular point on 5-minute time frame. I think good. Just let me mark it with my good. So if you want to refine it to the barest minimum, now this is it. If you can take it on 1 hour time frame, is a very good one on 1 hour time frame. Where price gets here, you just follow it all the way to the upside, and that is it. Just have something like this, and your SL will be very small, and that's going to be a very quick one. So your SL will be like about less than 40 pips. All right, so that is going to like 5 pips or so for your SL. So if you have that, just for it to run all the way to the upside, and your TP will be somewhere around here, the I somewhere around here. Okay, now if you check on 15-minute time frame, what I'm trying to explain on the 15-minute time frame is this. If you look here, now on the 15-minute time frame, this look more of that shoulder that we are looking at, and you can see how price came and tap into it and move. So if you just stay on the 1 hour time frame, take the trade on 1 hour time frame, and we follow through all the way to the upside. All right. Yes, it's almost all the JPY pairs that have that same entry. And if you look at it on the AUD JPY too, reason why I love the AUD JPY these days, great. It seems more of that clear entry on AUD JPY. So you may want to take it on AUD JPY as we already marked it here. So this is it on AUD JPY. Does price gets here, follow through, and this is going to be your SL below here, and you move up that way. All right. So if there's any other question, you can easily type in the chat box before we call it a day. Now, if you check the Forex performance all through, you can see that truly today now we are having a risk off kind of market totally. You can see all the commodity pairs back behind, so there's no risk in the market. And you can see the best performance, which is the JPY, the CCHF follow through. So we are only waiting for USD to make its own decision. It is going to join its colleague here, or it's going to stay in at that particular level. So that is what we are looking out for, to see what happens through that week. All right. And remember, on Wednesday, as CG already said, we are expecting the release of the interest rate, both for the dollar and also for the yen. You see it there. It's going to, that's for the yen here, and at the same time for the dollar too. So what this week is going to be a very interesting and bloody one. You can see why I call it bloody is because of the red you can see that lines up here. So I don't mean it in the other side, but it's going to be a very bloody one. The wick is red, so make sure your account did not go red. All right, so like we've always said, make sure you trade cautiously and use your proper risk management strategy. At the same time, we have our training still up and going. The FS Bootcamp, you can easily enroll for the FS Bootcamp so that all this analysis we do, you can see the chart the same way we see it. And also we have our ATM cash flow training where we teach you how to trade the synthetic profitably. Like we just have the just concluded training in the city of Abuja, where we have our boss and every other person there to take the class, and you can all testify, those who attend the class. It's a very great moment and a very sweet one. So till we meet again by 3 p.m., make sure you are around 3 p.m. where we're going to see what has happened in the market and the recap of the market again. Till we meet again by 3 p.m., make sure you trade cautiously and use your proper risk management strategy. I'm Lekon Sharing. Cheers and God bless.